It is the big night before your exam day. You are staring at those notes and slides you still haven't gone through, looking all confused, stressed, and overwhelmed, and probably regretting why you didn't start earlier. Does this sound like something you can relate to? You don't have to say yes. I already know the answer. If I didn't, I wouldn't be making this video, right? But one thing is certain. At the end of this video, you have all the recipe you need to study last minute and still remember everything. And it's something that you are going to enjoy doing. The feelings you get when you haven't studied enough and it is already exam o'clock. All the pressure and all the despair. Trust me, it is something that I've been through. Not once, not twice, but a couple of times. And somehow I always survived. Not because I'm a genius or something, but because I have figured out how to make last minute studying actually work. And hey, don't judge me. I don't always push everything to last minute. I start out earlier and try to go at a reasonable and at a consistent pace, at my own pace. But sometimes life gets in the way and things tend to become slow and chaotic. Even with all things being the same, your course material for the term or semester can still overwhelm you. And it's just terrible at some of our universities. Lecturers wait or keep postponing their lectures until it is the last minute or the revision week. And they will start scheduling random surprise lectures here and there. So you see, it is due to no particular fault of yours that some of these things happen. And maybe we should blame the big ugly looking guy in the room too, Mr. Procrastination. He is 70% responsible. Alright, so if you are watching this with only a few hours left, don't panic, okay? You are not too late and there's a way to still turn things around. You just need to be smart and be intentional about certain things. And with the information or techniques that I'm about to share with you in this video, I'm so confident that you will enter the exam hall with your head up, your chest out, and looking all cool and get to come out the same way. Pretty the same way you entered. Let's get into the video already. The first and most important technique is the L.A.S.T technique. L.A.S.T, the L.A.S.T method. This is a technique I use a lot. It is an acronym and each letter represents something. It is literally the body and soul of the last minute study system. And no, it is not about cramming 200 pages into your skull. It is about getting maximum retention in minimum time. But before we get into the actual techniques, I want you to pause and breathe. Yes, like that. The truth is, you are not going to cover everything, and that is okay. You are not aiming for perfection. You are aiming for strategic survival. That is the goal, and that should be your goal. Your goal right now is not to memorize every single line. It is to hit the highest yield stuff, internalize it deeply, and walk into the exam with so much clarity and not chaos. And once you get into this mindset, the rest becomes easier. Now, let's talk about the L.A.S.T system. And with that, let's start with the first step, the L, which stands for list and label. What you do here is that you will write down all the topics that you think could come up on the exams. Brainstorm them, then go through and label them with different marks. Stuffs you already know, stuffs you kinda know but need a quick review, and stuffs you don't understand at all. This part is very crucial because most people waste so much time reviewing what they already know. It feels good and it is comfortable, but you don't have the time for that. You are doing the right thing at the wrong time. You want to focus on this and that. That is where your gains are. Alright bro, after doing this, what you do next is active compression, which represents the letter A. Think of this as taking a big messy cloud of information and squeezing it into a tight, tiny bit. And here's how to do that. For each topic, create one-page notes. Use bullet points, short sentences, include diagrams, chart flows, or even stick figures to enhance your understanding. Say everything out loud while writing it. Imagine you are teaching it to your past self. This is where the understanding happens. Doing this, you are not just copying and you are not also highlighting. You are actively compressing ideas into simple language. That is what makes it stick. And I've got a pro tip for you. Use a whiteboard or a blank sheet of paper. Physically writing the connections will help you remember faster. Now, we move to the most powerful part, the S, which stands for smart retrieval. The number one mistake that is common among students is how they revise their notes. Most students just reread, but your brain doesn't learn by input, it learns by output. So close your nose and test yourself. Ask, if I were the examiner, what would I ask? Write down more questions, or better yet, answer past questions without looking at your notes. If you get something wrong, that is perfect and it is perfectly normal. That is how your brain naturally learns. That struggle to recall is what creates strong memory. You could even create flashcards and revise with it, but with the limited time you have left, if you don't already have the flashcards readily at your disposal and you still have to create new ones and use them the night before your exams, you're only going to be wasting your precious time achieving nothing. What you can do is you can fold a paper and write Q&A on each side, or just talk to yourself like a crazy person. It works, trust me, it works. The last step is about time blocking. If you are going to study 6 hours straight, you will burn out real quick. Even the best study techniques are going to be undermined when you don't practice time blocking and you just study a couple of hours on end. Regardless of what someone might have said that is otherwise to this, let's be real, it is only but a one-way ticket to burnout. One of the examples of time blocking is the Pomodoro method. So instead of those straight couple of hours study in sprints, 25 minutes intense focus, 5 minutes break, and then after 4 rounds of doing this, take a longer 20 to 30 minutes break. Set a timer to do this for you. If you don't have a timer device, you can use your smartphone, but be sure to put it on airplane mode in order not to get distracted by notifications. There are apps out there that you can also use to automate this process. There is Forest, there is Befocus, there is Notion. I could make a video reviewing these apps and probably give you my opinion on the best app based on my user experience. Tell me in the comment section if I should do that. So when you implement time blocking or Pomodoro, during those 25 minutes, nothing else exists or matters except that topic. Use the breaks to walk, hydrate, and reset your mind. This adds life to your focus. Alright, so let's say your exams is literally tomorrow. You've only got 4 to 7 hours. Here's how to divide your time. Spend 20 minutes to list and label everything. 2 hours to do active compression on the X topics that you know nothing about. 1.5 hours on practicing smart retrieval using more questions or the blending method. An hour of light review of the topics you kind of have an idea about. And then incorporate 30 minutes walk, rest, and deep breathing. Before bed, review the key concepts one last time. Just the framework, not everything. And please, sleep. Even if it is just 4 to 5 hours, it is better than pulling an all-nighter. Alright, for a very extreme last-minute study, these bonus hacks are going to be very helpful to you at a time like that. These are hacks I've personally used when I was literally spiraling 12 hours before a major exam. They are very, very effective. One of the things you can do at that critical moment is use voice note summary. Record yourself summarizing key topics. Listen to it while brushing your teeth, eating, or lying in bed. Especially for someone like me, I usually find it very hard falling asleep. I'll roll in bed for like an hour before I finally fall asleep. So I could make use of something like the voice note summary. Another thing you can apply is the memory palaces. If you don't know what that is, tell me and I'll include that in my future videos. But what it basically entails is that you pick a familiar room in your house like the kitchen, assign each corner a topic, walk through it mentally and link facts to objects. The third hack involves you teaching the topic to someone else, or at least pretend that you are doing so. And if you can teach a topic even to your dog, then you probably understand it well enough. This is similar to what Albert Einstein said, that if you can't explain something to a 5-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Another hack or tip is that you can walk around, pace, stand up. Movement boosts your blood flow to the brain and increase your retention of information. I literally walk in circles when I revise. When you are studying, you can also make use of analogies. Don't just memorize. Say, okay, the nephron is like a water filter in my kitchen. It filters blood like my breeder filters water. The weirder the analogy, the stronger the memory. Alright, my guy, before we bring this awesome video to an end, I want to tell you things to look out for and avoid, the last minute traps to avoid. Please do not fall into these traps. They are very tempting, but they will destroy your efficiency. On the night before your exams, don't start to reorganize your notes or color code them. You don't need aesthetic notes, you need functional knowledge. And don't also make the mistake of trying to cover everything. Scheme for patterns. Focus on what is likely to be tested. Don't also skip your sleep. You will lose more by staying awake than you will gain when you are well rested. And as a matter of fact, don't study with a friend who is panicking. Their anxiety will leak into you. Go solo or rather study with calm people. Let's be real. Walking into the exam hall unprepared sucks. But your attitude and mindset makes all the difference. Go in there with a clear head. You've done your best in the time you had. Breathe deeply, slowly exhale. Read each question calmly. Don't rush, and if something comes up that you didn't study, don't freak out. Answer everything else first, then return to that question with a fresh brain and a clear thoughts. So let's bring it all back. You can study last minute and still crash your exams. It is very possible and practical. The L.A.S.T system, or the L.A.S.T system, helps you focus on what matters. A strategic review is better and will help you to remember more than panic cramming. Sleep, breathe, and trust your effort. If this video was helpful, comment below how much time do you have left before your exam. I'm here cheering for you. Your people are rooting for you. You got this. And if you want more in-depth videos on study psychology, productivity, or exam hacks, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Now go make every minute count. You've got this. My name is Jabir and I am that guy. Bye.